In this episode, finally, I will reveal the contents of all these boxes.
Oh, what's in the box?
Yep. Yeah, that just happened. Also, we're going to take a look as to what's to come for the F-150 and the Camaro. I'm Dennis James. Welcome to my shop. Now, to start off with the F-150, as you may have seen in a previous episode, I did say I had a chrome deletion project in mind. Now, the only things left on the truck that are chrome are the front bumper and the rear bumper. That deletion will come in the form of vinyl wrap. Now, the idea was to wrap just the outside parts, the far left and far right of the front bumper, with this gloss white that does actually match the truck, and the center part of the bumper with this matte black vinyl. Now, to bring you in a little closer and explain as to what I meant as far as the outside part of the bumper and the center part of the bumper, from this body line out this way, that will be wrapped in this gloss white vinyl to match the body of the truck. Now, from the same body line to the identical one on the other side, the center part of the bumper, that will be wrapped in this matte black vinyl. Now, I know a question may have come up when I was explaining the process of wrapping the front bumper in the gloss white vinyl and the matte black vinyl. Well, that reason lies in this box. Do you know what it is? Want to make a guess? I'll wait. Really gotta buckle down and take the broom to the shop vac to the floor here. Too dirty for my liking. Are we ready to see? Here it is. And now, the reason I'm wrapping the center part of the front bumper, the matte black, a Ford Raptor grille. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That doesn't spell out Ford. There's a reason. Because of licensing laws, the companies that produce these grills can't exactly put them out there with the full F-O-R-D to spell out Ford. Now, there is a little loophole. What they do is they remove the first and third letter and they send them in a separate box, all within the same package, that can be installed once you install it on your vehicle. Now, just like the grille on the Ford F-150 Raptor, this grille comes with 3 individual amber-colored lights. These lights come with their own individual wiring harnesses that plug into one main harness. Now, that harness will be tapped into the running light harness on the front of the truck, and you will see that in a segment on a future episode. And now, onto the Camaro. Now, what you may or may not know is the Camaro is a unibody car, and what that means is it is not a full-frame vehicle. Now, from the factory, there are 2 rear frame rails that are welded to the body, and up front, there is a removable subframe. Now, because it's not a full-frame vehicle, unfortunately, these bodies, over time, can become a little twisted, a little tweaked, and can throw a few small things out of alignment. Now, to some people, it may not be too noticeable, but for me, obviously because I know it, the left side of the car sits maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch lower than the right side of the car. Again, you may not be able to see it, but I know it, so I see it. Thank you, OCD. Now, a simple solution to that problem could be the installation of air shocks, which is what I went along and did last year. Now, that's not a permanent solution, but it did work. A more permanent solution would be what is in this box. Now, what's in the box is this. This is an aluminum half-inch leaf spring lowering block. Now, the whole idea behind this is it will be mounted between the leaf spring and the leaf spring perch on the rear differential, thereby lifting the rear differential up half an inch on that side, which will lower the car on that side. Now, because that side is coming up half an inch, I'm going to need a longer U-bolt. Now, the job of the U-bolt is to hold the rear differential and the leaf spring together. Now, I decided to go with this. It is a heavier duty half-inch U-bolt and is probably 2 inches longer than stock. Well, I figure as long as I'm back there and I have everything torn apart, I'm going to replace the leaf spring pads. Now, from the factory, they come with a rubber pad that over time dries out, becomes brittle, and just throws everything off. They'll be replaced courtesy of Energy Suspension with these polyurethane pads. And once again, as long as I'm back there, I thought I would replace the rear leaf spring shackles. Once again, courtesy of Energy Suspension, here I have a rear leaf spring shackle kit along with new polyurethane shackle bushings. Now moving up. Well, more or less moving in to the interior. Now, as far as the interior goes, there's not a whole lot left to do aside from tying up a few loose ends. One of those loose ends is the fabrication of a center console shifter plate. Why do I need to do that? Well, as the car sits right now, it doesn't have the stock shifter from the factory. The shifter it has now is a Hurst quarter stick racing shifter equipped with a Hurst style pistol grip shift knob. Now, a while back, I went ahead and I fabricated a template out of cardboard, electrical tape, whatever I had lying around, but it's going to do the job, and you'll see that fabrication in a future episode. Now, if you were paying attention in the last episode, I had mentioned something regarding wheels and tires. Now, we all know wheels are a little expensive nowadays, so I had to pass on that, and I stuck with the wheels that I have now. As far as tires, unfortunately, because of their age, around 13 to 14 years old, there is some drying, there is some cracking, and on one of them there is some slight tread separation. Now, at the time I ordered the wheels and tires, I wasn't too knowledgeable about sizing and whatnot, and because of that, the tires are just a little too wide for the wheel for my liking. So that tire I picked out for the front is a 155/80/15 tire. Now again, it's about the same height, but it is significantly narrower. I'd say about 2 inches. It's a 6-inch wide tire, and it'll match up with the front wheel perfectly. Now with the rear tire, I didn't change it up a whole lot. The new one is a 235/60/15. Now, again, there's really not that big of a difference. I would say maybe 3/4 to a 1 inch shorter, and maybe an inch, inch and a half narrower in diameter, which will fit that 15/7 wheel perfectly. And now we move to the front of the car. Now, right now we're going to be talking about a small inconvenience with the fuel delivery system. This right here is the fuel filter. I'll get you a better look. Now, I do like these clear filters, as you can see what kind of gunk is coming up from your tank. You know, it gives you better knowledge as to what's coming through, when you need to change the filter. But there is one drawback. Now again, there is one convenience. They are clear. You can see what's coming through your fuel system. The one drawback: these are notorious for vibrating apart, leaking fuel onto hot manifolds, hot headers, causing fires. We don't want that. With the clear glass fuel filter that's on it right now, I will be replacing it with this. It is a black billet aluminum street fuel filter from Edelbrock. And once again, you'll be seeing that in a future episode. Now moving on, but staying within the engine compartment, I have an upgrade for the original cooling system. Now, as some of you might know, the Camaro came with a 229 V6 and now has a 355. But the only drawback is it still retains the original 6-cylinder radiator. It's going to be a little difficult trying to cool that down. Now, as far as upgrading the cooling system goes, I really wanted to take my time, do the research, and get a good quality product. Now, through online forums and even in person, I was pointed into the direction of certain products that were very reliable, had excellent reviews, but were just ungodly expensive. Now, I'm talking into like the $1,000 mark just for the radiator alone. Now, for some, that might not be bad. For me, that's a little out of my budget. Now, once I got down to what I could afford as far as my budget goes, there was one name, and one name in particular, that kept coming up. Now, reading the reviews, they might be a little pricey, but in the end, you get what you pay for, and that's a good quality product. Well, here it is. The upgrade is an all-aluminum radiator from Cold Case. Now, through research, reading all the reviews, I took the time to try to find that one negative comment or review that would deter me from this purchase. That obviously never happened. Now, as far as the product, the company, customer service goes, virtually all positive reviews, and you will see this installation in a future episode. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That'll give you a heads up on future uploads. And as always, get out there, get wrenching, keep those dreams alive. We'll see you next time.